Very exciting time of year, the last day of winter when this video goes live, meaning spring starts tomorrow. But no matter what time of year you are watching this, if you are looking forward to doing your first renovation, then this will be super helpful checklist and starting point for you. If you're more experienced in lawn care, hopefully this will give you some good reminders coming into reno season. Plenty to cover, so let's get into it. Yes, g'day and welcome to a new video. All this kit laid out here nicely at the moment because Luke from the Australian Lawn and Garden podcast has just left. We recorded an episode all about lawn renovations, going through different bits of machinery, talking about other tools you can use and that sort of thing, the reason for different parts of a reno. So that would be, yeah, a really good listen if you're interested. Keep an ear out for that in the coming weeks. But the focus of this video is going to be to give you 5 things to get done before your renovation. First of all, you want to get the timing right on your lawn renovation. When the lawn is actively growing nicely, you're regularly mowing it because there is good growth in the lawn. That is when you can do a lawn renovation, because after you cut it right back, you give it a good scalp scarify, aerate, top dress. If you're covering a full renovation, you want it to be able to grow back through quickly so that you can use the lawn again. It's not out of action for a long time. So for me, Southeast Victoria, around about October onwards through to early March, but a bit safer is to say anytime in February. Anytime in that window, spring, summer, lawns, our warm season lawns are growing beautifully. And so if you hit it with a reno, you give it some fertilizer, you give it some water, without this video becoming a sort of how-to guide of how to actually do the renovation, but just things around it. Get the timing right. Do it when the lawn is growing well. So coming into September, tropical areas probably already starting to do some renovations in some situations, and you know, do you even have winter dormancy? Move down to sort of Sydney and that reno window opens a bit sooner. For me here, Victoria, similar climates like Adelaide, etc. Wait until October, even though you might be really excited in September to rip into it. If you can hold off until October, it just means you are going to get better recovery. You're not going to have a beach sitting there for weeks on end with an unusable space. So hold off, get it done then. And then something you need to do is grab yourself a whiteboard, some pen and paper, whatever it may be, your calendar, get all the details off your partner or whatever you need to then plan out when things are going to happen. So say you've got a weekend, you've only got the weekends to do it. So maybe you've got a wedding on, you've got a bucks party on, you've got someone's birthday. So you can start to get a picture of when you're actually available. So you might start to look and go, okay, start of September here is when I'm going to do my preventatives, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but your Spartan, your Saliprin, things like that. Maybe that next weekend is when I'm going to get some granular fert onto the lawn, although you could do those at the same time. And then maybe down here, you're going to be busy through this period. So it's like, okay, October the 12th, we are going to scalp and scarify. And then the next weekend, we are going to core and top dress. And when it comes to hiring that corer, maybe you're gonna do your mate's lawn at the same time, or Jono next door or whatever, so you can plan that in advance to book in the machinery. You can order your products that you need. You can get your mower serviced or start looking on Facebook Marketplace for a utility mower for scalping, something like that. But plan it in, make some bookings, because places with renovation equipment obviously going to be pretty busy in this springtime. So if you haven't already, start planning and start booking. And number 3 is an important step, and it's something that you need to know all the time as well as at reno time, but it is to make sure you measure your lawn and know how many square meters you're working with. And this doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, and I'll give you a bit of a demonstration in a second, but the reason you need to know and measure your lawn is so that you know how much of each product to apply. So all of our products is a certain rate per 100 square meters. So granular fertilizer, 2 kilos per 100 square meters. So you know that if you've got 50 square meters, well, you just do half and you do a kilo. If pre-emergent is 40 mils per 100 squares, there you go, you only do 20 mils total of the product across 50 square meters, etc. So for me here, I've got these curves and things like that, so you really can be a bit rough about it. So if I just step it out and kind of go, yeah, I'm kind of going to make 2 rectangles here. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is to around about that spot. So we'll call this kind of 15 square meters, 6. So right there is 6 meters, and that's kind of, you know, if we're calling this area here a rectangle, it's kind of 5.5 to 6 meters across to here. 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's sort of 9. So sort of 9 times 6 is 54 down there. If you add 15, that takes us to around about 70 square meters, which I know that this lawn is pretty much exactly 72 square meters. So there you go. You just kind of work with your angles and stuff a little bit if you do have odd shapes. And by vaguely stepping that out, I'm glad that actually worked out. That could have ended badly, but I've gotten to within sort of 5% there just by stepping it out. So having an idea of your lawn size is really important. Number 4 sort of ties back into number 2 a little bit, but it's getting out your products in advance, in preparation for your lawn renovation. So the main preventatives we're looking at is for weeds and for lawn grubs. So you've recently seen me apply pre-emergent onto my lawn areas. That is to put a barrier in place to stop most common weeds from growing. The main one for me here over summer is paspalum. In winter, it's wintergrass. And then asalaprin, which I'm going to be getting delivered quite soon, is for lawn grub prevention. So I'll get both of those down in that kind of August, early September timeframe to put those barriers in place and have that protection for the lawn. The other thing is granular fertilizer. And now granular fertilizer needs a certain amount of warmth in the soil to be effectively broken down and used by warm season grass types. If I was to apply here in the dead of winter, it would essentially just be a waste of the product because the soil, it's just the lawn is not able to absorb it. It's just gonna leach through the soil and not be used. And so the soil temperature I'm personally looking for, I went right down a rabbit hole a couple of years ago with this, and I found that the most consistent number that is out there, because there are lots of different ones, is about 17 degrees. So if you're seeing a soil temp of about 17, or even if it is kind of 15, 16, but you've got a really nice forecast coming up and it looks like, it's just going to continue to obviously rise into spring, as much as cold snaps can still pop up in September. But for the most part, things are trending upwards, then that is a really good sign, as well as starting to see some nice new green shoots coming up and your lawn's starting to grow again. All of those things are great signs that your lawn is ready for granular fertilizer again. For consistency, soil temps are normally taken at 9 AM. It's nearly midday here. We've had a really good stretch of weather recently, but right now you can see it's 12 degrees here. So a little bit on the cool side. We still need a little bit more nice weather to roll through here for it to warm up enough to get the granular fert down. So I'll probably be doing that a couple of weeks time. Something that people do tend to worry about is putting products down and whether it's just going to get ripped back up again in a lawn renovation process with our scalping, scarifying and aerating. Most people, or some people, are comfortable with getting stuff down a week prior to reno. For me, I've always gone off about 2 weeks. I just personally feel a lot more comfortable about it. There's been studies and things done which show that there's no impact on that pre-emergent barrier, etc. Once you get your fertilizer down, it's soaked down into the soil and working. I can completely understand why you might feel like, do I have to do it again after the renovation, spray those things? But there's good evidence out there that it's fine. And then number 5, not necessarily something for a checklist, but just a general piece of advice is that I think, especially if you are a beginner, a good piece of advice is to not go as hard. If you are in doubt, don't go as hard on your lawn. So that means don't scalp it as low, don't scarify as hard. Definitely aerate, but when you top dress, don't top dress as heavily. So instead of doing 1 cubic meter of top dress per 100 square meters, maybe make it half a cube or 3/4 of a cube, something like that. Build up your confidence. I understand why people see this process and they get worried about killing their lawn. There are instances as well where that's how people find out without the lawn growing back that they've got deficiencies in their soil and stuff like that. So just in general, if you've got a healthy, thriving kikuyu or cooch lawn especially, trust me, you cannot kill it by scalping it right down to the ground, even though it looks extreme, because the underground root system will come back through and shoot up nice new green growth. You cannot kill it. Buffalo doesn't have that underground root system, so in general, don't go as hard on your buffalo, but just in general, don't go as hard with your top dress, leave some leaf poking through. Build up your confidence in the sense of scalping and scarifying, but maybe leave a bit of extra leaf than what you see on Instagram or YouTube, just to see and watch the process, water it back to health, get your products down and everything, see it come back to life, and then next time, you know, you will have probably watched a lot more YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff, have more confidence in the process to go even harder on it the next time around. Now, different aspects of lawn renovations is something that you'll see me and others talk about a lot. And the reason is that we're not always doing lawn renovations, but we're talking about them a lot because it's what we're getting questions about so much. Constantly, whether it's what to top dress with, how hard to scalp, what aerators to use, like all sorts of things. There are so many questions that people have, which is one of the reasons that I made my lawn renovation guide. I've absolutely jam-packed it with heaps of links to videos, information covering every step of the process, even things like your waste removal, how you're gonna get rid of all of your clippings at the end and different options, and just so many, anything you can think of to do with a lawn renovation. It's in there, it's really helpful. I got heaps of feedback on it while I was creating it from other people in the industry, and I've had lots of great feedback since I've had it out there. I do also have lawn care programs, which is essentially annual plans with high, medium and low input. So whether you want to put in heaps of work and heaps of spraying and fertilizing versus just doing the absolute basics, there's different annual plans that come with your one purchase. That yeah, it's just telling you what to do to your lawn and when to be able to get it looking its absolute best, whether you're in tropical climates, whether you're in temperate climates like Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, and whether you're in cool season climates and have cool season grass as well. And I've currently got a 30% off sale on all of those programs at the moment as well. Spring 30 is the code. So yeah, everything laid out for you. And yeah, really proud of those guides, and I know that they'll be really helpful if you invest and you follow it. So yeah, I've got that there if you're interested. Really looking forward to this spring. Just can't wait to be mowing a lot again because yeah, just that time, putting headphones in, podcast music, whatever, getting out, working on the lawn, doing the mowing, seeing the results, all that sort of thing. I've really missed it for the last 3 or 4 months. So really excited to have that back in my life. And yeah, with renos, plenty of content to come. So if there's more that you want to see, let me know in the comments, because that can help me to decide on future videos and what to hone in on if people are asking those questions. But yeah, look, hopefully that was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.